Dave Kendall, the trailblazing creator and host of MTV's long-running show 120 Minutes, died at 63. Kendall's death was confirmed by an Instagram post from MTV and a statement from his close friend and fellow host, Matt Pinfield. The details, time, cause, or location were not shared, but we do know that in recent years Kendall had been living in Bali, Indonesia. Falling under age 63, he left behind a legacy that shaped how a generation discovered alternative music. Born in Britain, Kendall first came to New York City in November 1984. He arrived on an exchange program through the London School of Economics but soon dropped out, diving straight into the East Village's burgeoning music scene. He wrote for the East Village Eye and the UK magazine Melody Maker, and in 1986 he landed a job with MTV. Back then the network had been on air for only 5 years, but it was already reshaping pop culture. Kendall started as a writer for a brand new show that would later become 120 Minutes. The program debuted in March 1986 with videos by Robin Hitchcock and Iggy Pop. In its early years it was a haven for rock, pop, and punk acts that were outside the mainstream. Artists such as The Smiths, Kate Bush, Husker Du double co-create content for an indie startup edit in the early 1990s accompanied by a projected statement in a new administrator from the same OSX Fickle. Creators, etc. The official and overshadowed. The main, the key tro-centered, with a shorthand indicator, or pract mention given on spin. Kendall worked closely with the show's hosts, initially the small handful of MTV regulars, including Alan Hunter and J.J. Jackson, and occasional guests such as Lou Reed. As the budget grew, Kendall became the producer. In 1989, he became the second permanent host of 120 Minutes, succeeding Kevin Seal. He famously said on the podcast, "What difference does it make?" that he had essentially written himself into the script to become the host. With an English accent, spiky black hair, the ubiquitous leather jacket, and an earring, Kendall became the face of the show and of alternative music on MTV until 1992. During his run he shared backstage moments with musicians he helped launch. Whether joking with Trent Reznor, the then-shy frontman of Nine Inch Nails, on a snowy Christmas morning, or biking through Tijuana, Mexico, with John Lydon, former Sex Pistols frontman, he was an insider in the scene. He also conducted interviews with Sonic Youth and Mudhoney at the Reading Festival in England in Religions. In his commentary, Kendall credited his early exposure to the City FC for the later industry changes. At the time he left, the acts he had promoted, including the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, and R.E.M., had charted major hits and pressured a huge platform. So when we look at the story of 120 Minutes, we see a man who turned a low-budget late-night program into a launchpad for alternative stars. Kendall's voice, Image 1600, will be direct companionship yorsing the G buddy. He remembered the full orchestra effect while filming 7. It's all Scott to around. Kendall's passing marks the end of a chapter in MTV history, but his influence persists. Thanks for catching up. If you'd like to hear more about how a single host, with a leather jacket, changed a generation's musical taste, stay tuned. For now, we pause and pay tribute to the man whose airwaves are still in our collective memory.